Welcome, you diabolical degenerates, to another episode of the Rude Dudes podcast. I am Justin, joined by Tyler
All
and
right.
Matt.
Hi.
Hey
Sorry.
guys.
I had my hands to my mouth. I was like, that was beautiful.
Anyways, so Tyler was swooned by Justin's intro.
I was.
But before we get started today on today's topic, I just wanted to shout out that Justin, Tyler, and I just uploaded some 2XKO gameplay. It was me and Justin playing against each other the entire time. It's going to be the most mediocre 2XKO gameplay that you're ever going to see, especially in this alpha. But, it's a good grasp of how to more casual fighting game players play the game. And even though I am a diehard fighting game fan, definitely more of a casual player. So go check that out on our YouTube channel, and you can go check out our other reactions to like the Microsoft Showcase and, of course, the Nintendo Switch event recently.
Sorry, going on from there, Tyler. You're a comic book fan.
Oh, 100%. I'm so excited for this episode.
So this episode, we're going to be talking about the San Diego Comic-Con, specifically one major news event that happened there. And we're also going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So Tyler, starting off with the San Diego Comic-Con event.
So, the main thing that happened with that, and it's major news. It's major news. It hit headlines everywhere. Is Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom? See,
Mhm.
Yes.
I have a problem with that.
Okay, I thought I was the only one.
I have a
I get the
major.
feeling I get the feeling that, like, a lot of people have issues with it, and then there's, like, some, like, I guess, diehard, quote, unquote, of, like, the MCU diehards that are like, "No, this is fine."
Yeah, see, knowing the comics and stuff, and like, I mean, like, I could always be wrong, but like knowing from my knowledge of comics, there's only one storyline where Tony Stark became Doctor Doom, and that was the What If storyline where Doctor Doom or Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark swapped bodies,
Mm.
Mm.
and and Victor Von Doom experience or like had all the money and resources that Tony Stark had, and they kind of just like swapped lives, and like Tony Stark in Victor's body or Doctor Doom's body like became like this like world peace advocate, and ended up like making like the Doctor Doom variant. Like they ended up fighting and stuff, and like it was my major problem with it is that it was only a what if storyline. It wasn't like a actual like
Mhm.
story.
Yeah.
So, and I'm scared that him coming back, they're gonna run off of that what if instead of like a structured comic book story. Which I know the
I
MCU goes off and like does their own thing, but like I don't
Mhm.
think casting him as Doctor Doom, and that's if they do that storyline,
Yeah.
but him being casted as his face is too recognizable. People are gonna look at him and still be like Iron Man,
Right.
you
Mhm.
know. So that's my problem with it. So I don't if they don't do that storyline, then and even then, like I don't really think that storyline should even be a movie adaptation. But
Right.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do with it and how they do it, but I don't think casting RDJ as Doctor Doom was a good choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, personally, I like Tyler said, he's just kind of one. Not kind of. He is one of those actors that you like immediately think of when you think of the MCU. Him, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, like really the original Avengers, like Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. But I think that to me personally, like immediately thought of that too, Tyler. I was like, I'm pretty sure there is a story, and I'm not super big on the comics or anything like that for the Marvel universe. But when I saw it, I initially thought, like, wasn't there a what if made about that where Robert Down or where Tony Stark is Doctor Doom? But anyways, I think that this really kind of proves somewhat that Marvel's desperate in a way. Um,
I agree.
in my humble opinion, I mean,
Mhm.
you've got to think about the most recent movies that have been coming out. Mine is like Wolverine and or Deadpool and Wolverine. They've ultimately been flops.
Mhm.
Um, I can't even like recall the last Marvel movie I thoroughly enjoyed. I was really looking forward to Doctor Strange when that came out, Doctor Strange 2. That flopped for me. It was very like whatever. And Justin, that was actually when you fully were done with
Y
the MCU.
yeah, like, I checked out pretty early.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're not
So,
missing much.
Uh,
yeah,
oh, I know I'm
truly.
not missing much.
So, for you, Justin, how are you feeling about Robert Downey Jr. coming back? Does that kind of like make you interested in the MCU again, or does like Deadpool and Wolverine as a whole make you interested in the MCU, or does it not?
Um, see, I don't mind the storyline, to be honest.
Hmm.
It's, like, not like, the issue I'm having is just the fact that you casted Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom.
Mm.
Like,
Hmm.
I would have liked to see someone else be like, some other actor be, like, the be Victor Von Doom, but instead you just went ahead and recasted Robert Downey Jr. for what is probably gonna be, like, a multiverse issue of, oh, Spider-Man sees Tony Stark, but it's
Mm.
actually Victor Von Doom. It's like that kind of drama. I don't
Right.
know how well that's gonna pan out. And like I know you, Tyler, you said like it's been played off as like a what if scenario, like a what if comic book, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
It
they've done like entire series of like the what if shows, and almost like if I remember correctly, majority of those episodes became canon. Like Peggy Carter getting the serum that Captain America was supposed to have became a thing, and she was there in like in the movie
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
Mm.
it's all eventually gonna be canon. I don't think in this storyline there is like an actual what if, because in the multiverse it's all basically gonna be canon in the eyes of the MCU.
Yeah. And after the Loki show, they've been, heavily throwing in variants and the different timelines and kind of putting an emphasis on them, which kind of leads me to believe that they're going to have a whole variant war and kind of I think that there's something that like that happens in the comics, right, Tyler? So I think they might be trying to go for that.
Secret
Secret
Wars?
War. Yeah,
Secret
Secret
War.
Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, the way, and especially with the mutants coming in, like
Mhm,
kind of going a little off topic with the whole mutant thing. See, because you brought up Secret Wars. I
Mhm.
think Secret Wars is going to be because there's like two different Secret Wars that happen like comically. Like there's like the one where like each hero fights each other, or like they Secret Wars is like the Scroll army taking over, and then the actual heroes go in and fight.
Mhm.
And then
mhm,
there's the other one where the mutant universe and the MCU universe collide and they
yeah,
fight each other. That I think is what we're alluding to.
mhm,
Okay.
Um, but going back to what you said about like the whole what if like coming into canon MCU, I personally don't like. I know it was like True Thing and Doctor Strange and everything, but I don't think that an announcement like that for like Comic Con. Okay, so going back to like what I was saying is like I don't think that the what if storyline for that should be its own movie.
Mm.
Like
mhm,
I think. the way that they had it in like Doctor Strange was perfect. Like, yeah, like, multiverse, like, oh yeah, like Peggy Carter's Captain America. Um, or like she was in it, and like, but she was like a very small character that they killed off really quick.
Hmm.
I don't, yeah, like if RDJ is like the main villain to like the Fantastic Four movie,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna cause a lot of people to be like weirded. And honestly, there's so much better casting. Like Killian
I
Murphy,
I
Oh, yeah,
agree.
no. Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Killian
yeah.
Murphy would have
Yeah,
been
he'd be
perfect
really good.
Doctor Doom, and he even said that he wanted to do it too.
Yeah, and Tyler, to go off of your point too, I do think that this is gonna be, obviously a bigger thing because that would be such a waste of money on
Hmm.
Marvel and Disney's part. Granted, they're not strapped for cash by any means, but hiring RDJ, and we're already hearing rumors of his salary that it's going to be his biggest payday in his like Marvel tenure.
Mhm.
Um that would be such a waste of money to basically just have him in one movie, have him just kind of be a what if scenario and then just kill him off at the end of Fantastic Four or maybe even like the next Spider-Man movie or something of that nature. Um I don't know. I do think that he's probably a variant of some sort, and I do think Justin's theory is correct that like Peter Parker's gonna see him and he's gonna like freak out because this Doctor Doom looks like his
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Yeah,
Yeah,
his Iron Man. So
I would love to see that interaction. Like I'm not even
it'd be
gonna lie.
very
Like my
interesting.
inner MCU fan would be like, hell yeah.
Right.
Mm.
But as far as like fan engagement and everything, like let RDJ rest with us. Rest with
Dude,
Iron
Yeah.
Man.
seriously, it's
He
like
kickstarted the MCU. He does not need to come back as another
No.
variant.
I
Unless
agree.
I mean, and I highly doubt that he's gonna be like a side character. But
Mhm.
like, have him come back as a variant, just like in the background, and have that interaction with Spider-Man, and
Right.
then
Mhm.
just go on from there. Don't have him be a mainline villain,
Again,
because
I go
like
oh,
don't, or like, because like I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me to like do all that, because you're playing with people's hearts.
it's desperation once
Hmm.
again. I mean,
Mhm.
like, when I saw that he was back, the crowd roaring was crazy. The reaction was insane. But my first thought for my Tekken fans was, thinking about it now, it feels very similar to Heihachi returning in Tekken 8, where I'm like, God bless, like, he's supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's time for new blood in Marvel. I'd be more interested to see other actors and actresses. I mean, granted, the Heihachi comparison is a poor one because Heihachi's been the same throughout the entire franchise, but it's like, swear to God, he's dead. Swear to God. We swear he's dead this time for real, for real. We said that he was dead in Tekken 5, but he was there, and nope, Tekken 7 was the end of Heihachi. Oh, just kidding. He's back. Like, even though I'm hyped to see Heihachi, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, are we ever going to step away from this storyline? Are we ever going to step away from like these actors and actresses
Right.
I think
completely?
the only thing that's different about that is just, like, the Tekken storyline is fucking absolutely ridiculous.
And it's a
Like,
video game,
it's a video it makes no coherent sense,
right?
and, like, Harada, the creator of Tekken, is just an absolute troll.
He is.
So it's like, you gotta take in consideration, like, take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but I mean, Marvel also created Eternals, so
Well, they tried to make it a serious movie,
which
so I don't know what to tell you with that.
which
I know I'm like, yeah,
which before we branch off into the next part, it's funny that you bring that up, because
I hate that
of,
fucking movie.
I mean, I do too, but they bring up the fact that, or in the new Captain America movie,
Hmm.
that they're using, because they're like, yeah, it's not talked about, like all the governments are bidding on it for the body of the what was it, one of the
Celestial?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, because that's supposed to introduce vibranium, which is Wolverine's
Oh.
skeleton, or like in Wolverine, they use
Mm.
the but like the
Adamantium?
vibranium. Oh no, antimantium,
Vibranium?
antimantium. Yeah,
Yeah.
Antimentium.
sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay.
Um,
How
but
dare you?
yeah, I know, right? Me being who I am.
I had
Um,
I had to correct you.
yeah, that's surprising, but yeah, no, I thought that was actually like cool to actually like tie that movie in, because it's like there's just a half a being just chilling on the planet. Like, what do we do with him? And then
Right.
they found a good way to do that. I think that was pretty good. I'm excited
And
to see the new Captain America movie.
oh man, I was just about to say I have another controversial take. That movie looks whack.
Wow.
what's
Sorry to all
what's
the
your
Marvel fans.
real quick before we
Mhm.
segue into Deadpool and Wolverine? What I want to hear this,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
I want to hear what your why do you think it's gonna be whack?
I just was not sold on the previews. I don't like I don't know. I don't really buy the new Captain America. I'm just not invested in the Captain America-esque story anymore. Um, I don't know. I just don't care about Captain America. I don't want like I don't know. It just feels
Like
like
the
more
who?
of rehashing of a variant or another version of a same hero that we already have
I
or had. That's just my opinion. I'd
Yeah,
rather focus on different heroes at this point in the game.
that's valid. I can tell
Oh,
you
and
this
I
right now.
hated the show. Was so
Oh,
bored by it. So I think that that's also why, like, a lot of the Marvel shows have kind of soured my taste to some characters.
gotcha. I can tell you right now that Captain America, like the Falcon turning
Mhm,
into Captain America, is the
mhm.
most accurate thing the MCU has put out.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a comic book accurate thing.
yeah,
Interesting.
because Falcon does take the mantle
Mhm.
after
Interesting.
Steve Rogers dies and everything, and like him doing his own story. I love the fact that they're bringing in Red Hulk finally,
Okay.
after having three different actors play Theodore Ross.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so going on from that, we're gonna talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to get your guys' take on the movie before I give mine, because I have a
Okay.
very different view on it.
You do. Um, one of the best movies that Marvel has come out with in a really long time. I left the theater and I told Justin this immediately that it was one of those Marvel movies, and I haven't experienced this in a pretty long time. Like the other movie that I can kind of pinpoint where I almost felt this way was Shang-Chi.
I love
And
that
the
movie.
last time I can absolutely pinpoint that I felt this way was Infinity War. And I was sitting in the movie, I looked at my watch, I saw that we had 30 minutes left, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't want this to end."
Um,
I agree.
so
I agree so hard,
like
especially with
Matt,
Shang-Chi.
yeah. So like Matt, I absolutely love the movie. Was it the best storyline? No.
No.
Was it like the best like CG effects and best choreography? No.
No, you get back with the choreography. We saw
Okay,
Deadpool
yeah,
dance
okay, okay,
Bye Bye
okay,
Bye,
fine.
okay?
Okay, fine. The choreography was good. But like, did I go into the movie theater expecting like dramatic, sad, whatever, like good storyline kind of shit? No, it's a Deadpool movie. I came in to have a good time. I left out of the theater having a great time. It was so much fun. I can't remember the
So
last
much
time I
fun.
was like I was laughing that hard at a movie, let alone a Marvel movie. I can tell you, The last time I was probably laughing that hard at a Marvel movie was probably Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
it
okay.
was I just had so much fun with it.
Honestly, I agree. I agree 100% with you, Justin. Um,
Mhm.
I have the same similar. There's one scene, and it's a lot of people's favorite scene that I absolutely hated,
Okay.
and it was the Deadpool versus Deadpool Corp scene.
The the massive fight at the end?
Yes,
Okay.
Interesting. Why is that?
I because I sat there and like I understand why they were there because they were contracted, uh, but I didn't like that scene. I liked the
Okay.
comedy. I loved the comedy in it in that scene. The comedy was golden, especially when Nice Pool died.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I thought that was funny. And the memes that followed that was just like he's MCU's best shields. It's like Cap Shields, Tony Shields, and a Nice Pool.
That's funny.
I
I
also
also
like
love
the
that.
fact I also love the fact that Deadpool did that only to get two things: his gun
Yeah.
or his guns and the
Mhm.
dog pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I did not do it. What do you mean?
I
Uh
also like how Nice Pull is just Ryan Reynolds being his Canadian self.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I can break the fourth wall too. The proposal.
The proposal. That was
Bitch, you think that's what I do?
so funny. So funny. I also loved when he broke the fourth wall about Gossip Girl
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
Blake Lively's in Gossip Girl. I had to explain that to Justin when he was like, "The human body has so many bones," and then he adds one more, and he was like, "And that's when I'm watching Gossip Girl."
um,
So
did you know that she was in
so
the movie?
Was
yeah,
she?
Yeah, she was Lady Pool.
Okay, I
yeah.
figured she was Lady Pool. I can spot that hair anywhere, bitch.
Tyler,
uh,
did you also know that one of their kids was Kid Pool?
yeah,
Really?
two of the kids
Yeah.
were in it.
Yeah,
So his youngest, and actually,
the baby.
I think all three of his kids were.
Oh.
I know well, I know one of them, and then the infant, like, the
Yeah.
youngest is also one of the Deadpools.
Did
So,
you also
but
know
Tyler,
Matthew
going back,
McConaughey's in the movie?
yes,
I
as
did know
the
that.
cowboy
Yeah.
Mhm.
cowboy.
But what were you
So,
saying,
Tyler,
Justin?
why okay, so can you elaborate on why you didn't like that scene, though?
Okay, so everything after that, like the fight scene,
Mm.
Mhm.
fucking pissed me off. The
Why?
CGI was
Oh.
unacceptable. Coming from someone who's a CG or who was a CGI major and animation major,
Mm.
the CGI was unacceptable when they were going through the bus. You can tell that they didn't have any like mocap with the scene. They were just moving it with like just the bipeds, which
Mhm.
Mm.
and I don't know if you guys know what a biped is, but it's just a
Nope.
skeleton in CG.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Oh, okay.
and you can specifically tell at the end of the bus when one of the Deadpools is like he's looking down and he sits directly up without any life in his or
Oh,
life in his like body, and it pissed me
okay.
off.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, and then when he exited the bus, Wolverine it was just unfucking acceptable, and it pissed me off. Me and my girlfriend were like, she even noticed, and like I can
Mm.
see these things. I know how to look for them,
Mhm.
but and she's just like, "What the fuck?" And I was just like,
Mm.
"Yeah." I was like, "This is bad." And like, I get they
Mm.
had to do like a bunch of reshoots and stuff like that, but like, come on, you guys have a huge budget. This shit should not be happening.
Right. Like the one company that truly has endless
Mhm.
pockets,
Hmm.
truly, like
Seriously.
bottomless like their pockets are Pandora's box essentially.
Yeah. And
That's pretty unacceptable.
and it put such a bad taste in my mouth that it just set me off. Like I was pretty like set off for the rest of the day and like a couple of days after that.
Mm.
Um, and on top of that too, and I know like you don't like the plot is whatever plot they're in. It doesn't
Right.
have to make sense. You're
Mhm.
going to see a Deadpool movie. You're going for the
Right.
comedy.
Right.
But like I was like sitting there, I'm like, originally, why was the TVA going for Deadpool? Because he was fucking with
Yeah.
the timelines? But I don't,
'Cause,
was it because of the end of Deadpool 2? When he was
uh,
like, but
no, it was something very specific about him and his abilities that were like,
Yeah.
I forgot the character's name, but the TVA guy was like, "Yeah, we're specifically looking for you." I forgot the reasoning, it's been a couple of weeks
It was
since we talked to
basically
you.
it was that, like, his set of abilities, they would turn him into, like, this ultimate hero, like, what he wanted to be, they would turn him into an Avenger, and primarily because, like, I can't remember why, but he was, like, the best of I think it was because he was the best of the Deadpools, and his timeline was going to die, so they thought that they would at least pluck him and kind of save him
mm,
from his impending doom of a timeline.
okay. Yeah, because I was very majorly confused because I know the TVA
Mhm.
only gets involved with variants when they disturb the timeline.
Yeah, and basically he fucked up that guy, and then that's why the TVA was after him after that,
Mhm.
because, of
Mm,
course, he took his shit like, his, time travel or, like, his dimension traveling
Cable?
or
You took
yeah,
Cable's,
he took
okay.
Cable's thing and was jumping from timeline to timeline looking for Wolverines.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, and I see this, and like people try to explaining this online, and I'm like, it still doesn't make sense
Mhm,
because if the timeline is going to get, you know, disappear eventually,
mhm,
that or because of Wolverine dying, because he was the anchor point or anchor person,
Yeah.
right.
but Logan doesn't take place until 2029, and Deadpool takes
Mhm.
place in current time.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's like his death didn't happen yet to where the timeline can start disappearing.
right, yeah.
So,
So like
he
that was like a
so
major thing for me.
like, this is, like, one of the things where it's, like, timeline stuff does it's very tricky. It can get messy if you're not corrected,
Hmm.
but if you remember back to, like, Endgame, where they were messing with multiverses, time jumps, and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure it was Bruce Banner, the Hulk, that said something like, "It's not gonna make sense." And you know what?
Yes.
Time stuff like this doesn't make sense. So,
Yeah.
it's just, like, one of those things where it's like, just buy into it.
Oh
Don't think about it
yeah.
too much. Just
Yeah.
have a
No.
good time. That's it.
100%. Other than that, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I
Mhm,
fucking loved the comedy.
Same.
mhm,
I loved the cameos. I love the fact that
I
they
did
got
mhm.
too.
a lot of the old X-Men characters,
D
like in
Yes.
villains.
Elektra?
Fucking
Like,
Dude
Chris Evans is Johnny Storm.
dude,
oh, iconic.
I love that they brought in the 20th Century Fox Marvel cast into this movie.
Yes.
Hmm.
Fucking love for some reason, people are, like were very not, like, all about it, and I get it because, like, the 20th
Dark
Century Fox
times.
movies, yeah, they weren't great, but it's like, if it honestly, like, in my point of view, if it wasn't for these guys, we probably would never got to where MCU is now.
If it wasn't for
Like,
Blade,
it
Sorry. If it wasn't for Blade, yeah, agreed. But you're gonna also look at me and tell me that Daredevil from back in the day doesn't slap?
oh, it
Are
does.
you fucking
oh,
kidding me?
I haven't seen that Daredevil movie.
Oh, dude, it's
I
so
gotta
What?
good.
We
yeah,
gotta
Oh, dude,
I
it's
watch
wanna
so
it.
good. We
We gotta
gotta
watch
watch
it.
it. And they got Elektra? Like,
Yeah.
mhm,
hello? And I love the fact that they did a nod to the Gambit movie and how Channing Tatum was actually
Oh,
uh
supposed to be Gambit.
I
supposed to be Gambit. I loved it. He
loved
was a
it.
great Gambit.
I
Yeah.
hope he gets his own movie.
I
Mhm.
do too,
because
dude.
he's
I
on the
love
same boat
Gambit.
as Ryan Reynolds was with Deadpool.
Mm, okay.
And like this is his chance to be able to do it because he's getting so much positive feedback that Disney's going to be
Mhm.
like, okay, we can greenlight it.
Right.
Yeah.
And unpopular opinion, would love to see more X-23.
Yeah, she's going to be
I
I would
Ronin.
too.
love X-23. I love X-23.
Yeah, I think she did fantastic. I
And her actress looks exactly like X-23, which
yeah.
is weird. Like if you look at especially like the Marvel 3 iteration of X-23, which I don't know how closely like how comic book accurate that is, but they look like almost exactly alike. It's kind of scary.
Hmm.
Which is funny
Um,
because that X-23 was also in the movie as well.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, they did such a good job, and the
Mhm.
mix of everything. And I love Channing Tatum's accent.
Yes.
I'm about to
So
make a
good.
name for myself.
Excuse
Um
me, who is your English translator?
Or,
The fucking Minions? Dude, I
Oh,
fucking lost it at that line.
or
uh
what did he say?
I
It's
was
just I came out of my dad dick. I was like, "What's up, doc?"
Uh, hold on, I can tell you. I know my father, but I know a shot of his dick ready. He laid his buttery nuts all up in my mama, and I shot up in there and said, "What's up, doc?" I've seen so many TikToks about that. I was like, I know it by heart now.
Dude, I love it. I fucking love it.
The line that really got me was when Ryan Reynolds was or Deadpool, whatever, when same person, but when they fought in the Honda Odyssey and he was like,
Mhm.
"I was wrong about the Honda Odyssey. The Honda Odyssey fucks." I was like he either said "fucks" or "fucking rules,"
No, he
and
said
it was
fucks.
just yeah, the Honda Odyssey fucks. That was so funny. I was cackling in the theater to that one.
I also
That's
love
actually
at the
probably my
end of that
favorite
scene,
scene.
like before they get taken away, before like they meet Electra, and
Yeah.
Blade, and everything. Deadpool's just all tied up.
Yep.
Also,
All the
too,
time
I know about
Hugh
from
seatbelts.
the Honda Odyssey.
Hugh Jackman delivering that line to Deadpool about
Yes.
like how
Oh,
your end is
yeah. I was
nothing.
like,
I was
"Oof."
like, oh, I felt that. I
Yeah, I
felt that in
Yeah.
my heart. I
felt
was like,
that in my heart
ooh.
and soul.
Uh,
Oh, also, shout out when Wolverine's outfit explodes and you just see his abs.
Oh, yes.
oh yeah, I was
Just
swooning.
I was like, "Damn."
I,
Man, my face
as a straight man,
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure
swooning.
dude, I swear, I feel like every straight man was like, "Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Damn."
Hugh Jackman still got it, and he's
I
old.
I
He's
covered my
getting up
girlfriend's
there. He's, like,
eyes.
mid-50s.
I covered my girlfriend's eyes as I was drooling.
Yeah, for real. You're like, you don't get to enjoy this, but I do." Okay?
And I loved
I
it.
do wanna say that I did not understand who Juggernaut was, kind of shifting gears here, did not understand that initially until, like, somebody basically said it in the movie, um, but did love the fact that they did my girl some justice, and you saw Lady Deathfingers for,
Yeah.
like, 5 seconds. One of the weirdest MCU villains, but I just loved her. So weird.
Oh man. Such a good movie.
Yeah. To end this episode, I do wanna give you guys, some tea.
Mm,
Oh,
So,
I got
I've
some tea
heard
too.
okay, yeah, but this will be, like, quick
I
2-second tea.
Yeah.
I got
Did
you.
you guys know that apparently Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds work on, like, quite literally every project together
Yeah.
in some capacity, and they're
I did
very
not.
involved in each other's projects? Yeah, and
Mhm.
I guess, like, people get really irritated, like,
Really?
really, really irritated. Yeah, like, Blake Lively was just in a movie about domestic violence, and there was rumors that, like, Ryan Reynolds came in and, like, was basically, like he came in and was trying to reshoot scenes and tell his own kind of story, even though it's based on this book and it was being directed by somebody else and so on and so forth. It was very bizarre and like Blake was putting on her own edits, and there was just
It was just
mess.
Yeah.
contradicting each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see something about that where it's like the director of the movie, who was also an actor in the movie, was like
Yes.
very absent in a lot of the promotional stuff.
Yes.
So
For
they were
that
like tying
very
that.
reason.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I still do love Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, don't get me wrong, but I could definitely see it. Like, it definitely tracks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
On that note, though, I say this is a successful podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ready to end it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment your favorite part down below. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to check out our Twitch and other social medias. All that is linked in the description. I was doing so good.
Mhm.
And yeah, we'll check you guys in the next episode. And also too, pay attention to our streams. We post the streams to YouTube. But if you guys want to make sure you guys there, make sure you guys go to Twitch. Get notified whenever we start streaming. We'll try to be good about posting on social media when we're gonna stream. And yeah, just go on from there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
You got
Leave a
it.
comment about your favorite Deadpool part. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Why Disney? Why?